Thanks for watching Times News, and you're with me, Anko Sonda. First, the headlines. The Reserve Bank of Malawi Deputy Governor Henry Matanga resigns, ending 37 years of a career as a central banker. Former First Deputy Speaker Esther Mcheka attributes by-election defeat to lack of support from her Democratic Progressive Party. And dry fishmongers in Lilongwe protest City Council decision to move them out of their place of business. We also have the latest in international news. Please do stay with us. The Deputy Reserve Bank of Malawi Governor Henry Matanga has resigned from the position, ending 37 years of a career as a central banker. In a letter addressed to the Office of the President and Cabinet and the Office of the RBM Governor, Matanga says his resignation is on the basis that he has been constructively dismissed. Eric Nsikiti has more in this report, read by Jameson Chauka.
In the letter, Matanga complains of being set on forced leave, being excluded from executive management and board meetings, apart from being denied contractual benefits without explanation, among other grievances. He also cites a decision by the RBM board to reduce his salary without consulting him as one of the injustices he has faced so far. Recently, Industrial Relations Court stopped the central bank from implementing a pay cut to Matanga's monthly salary of 22 million kwacha to 10 million kwacha. The court also ruled that the central bank should give Matanga an official vehicle befitting his position as deputy governor, apart from offering him for sale a motor vehicle he had been using for the past 5 years in line with the bank's official motor vehicle policy and practice. Matanga, however, says the bank is yet to comply with any of the court's order. He has since stated in his letter that he holds the bank and government liable for forcing him render his employment untenable. When contacted, RBM spokesperson Onile Nkuna said he could not comment on the matter. But recently, Nkuna told Times that RBM was yet to decide on whether or not to appeal the Industrial Relations Court or not. Most recently, some of the longest-serving top executives at RBM have expressed concern over some changes at the central bank, which include pay cuts.
Former First Deputy Speaker Esther Mcheka says her defeat in the recently held Msanje North parliamentary by-election is due to lack of support from her Democratic Progressive Party. Mcheka lost the seat to Malawi Congress Party's Enoch Chizuzo in a tightly contested election. Isaac Salima.
MCB came to my constituency and the camp and did a lot of money. Yeah, but now they support me. My correct. My life is fine. I'm happy. I've saved Malawians.
Ncheka, who had served the constituency for 2 terms and 2 years, also said there were some irregularities during the election, but she would not take action. DPP lost 3 seats in the elections, including Sanje Central, where another heavyweight, Francis Kasaira, lost to Kafandi Kalemandevana, while the Kalonga North constituency seat, previously occupied by late James Kamwambi, went to UTM's Felix Kantrafi Kaira. Kasaira could not pick our cause for a reaction to his fall. Commentators have attributed DPP's awful performance in the by-elections to an ongoing squabbles within the party. Political analyst George Piri of University of Livingstone Synod said the party should hold a convention to elect new leadership if it is to reclaim its lost glory. The party spokesperson Brown Pinganjira was not available for a comment on the raised issues.
Dry fishmongers who ply their trade behind Lilongwe main bus depot are protesting a decision to move them to an undisclosed location. Lilongwe City Council informed the vendors that the fish market will be closed on Monday, April 5th, 2021, to turn the place into a full-time car park. But as Matthews Cassandra reports from the capital city, the fishmongers have vowed they are not moving out of the place.
The fishmongers are opposing the decision by the council, arguing that they have not been provided with a new place and that they have been given a short notice. According to a letter from the council that Times has seen, the council says it will communicate with the leadership of the dry fish sellers and other relevant stakeholders on where they will be selling their fish after the current market is closed on Monday this week. The letter has been dated 29th April 2021 and has been signed by Lilongwe City Council Chief Executive Officer Eliam Banda. The vendors, however, have openly challenged the council's decision, stressing that where they are right now is the best place for their business.
We are not accepting this issue because we think that there is a certain corruption done so that they have to remove us here to put us somewhere. But that will not happen because we are here before them. So we are not accepting that.
Sitichoka pansika pano, tili pano, aichita kutithamangitsa koma sitilola.
Stephen Gasinja is the fishmongers chairperson. This place is where most people get their help. They are telling us to move out of this place without telling us where to go. The council says it will provide another place in the future. That will affect us. Meanwhile, the council has informed the fishmongers that failure to comply will force the council to take action as provided in the bylaws.
The Teachers Union of Malawi is on Monday expected to decide whether or not to proceed with a countrywide strike. This follows the expiry of a 7-day notice given to government after the Presidential Task Force turned down a proposal to convert money meant for personal protective equipment into cash for teachers' COVID risk allowances. Gaunga Saboda reports.
On March 24 this year, the Teachers Union of Malawi wrote the Secretary for Education and Secretary for Local Government, informing them that all teachers in public primary and secondary schools, as well as teachers training college lecturers, would resume a countrywide industrial action in form of a stay away. TUM President William Malimba told Times on Sunday morning that the 7 days given to government expired last Thursday. Malimba said TUM will announce on Monday the next course of action.
The 7 days election on Thursday, and we said that we are taking advantage of this Good Friday and Easter, and we are supposed to communicate to the government tomorrow on Monday. We are communicating to the government and to the public tomorrow. The stand of the Teachers Union on this issue will be communicated tomorrow.
Recently, Civil Society Coalition for Basic Education Executive Director Benedicto Kondowe underscored the need for dialogue on the matter to avoid further delays in the education calendar.
Water supply is expected to improve in Mzuzu and surrounding areas after the commissioning of the 22 billion kwacha worth water efficiency project. Northern Region Water Board has already constructed water storage tanks at Lusangazi, upgraded and expanded the Kwendeni water treatment plant, apart from upgrading pumps at Kaningina Booster, among others. The board's chairperson James Montali says the water efficiency project is expected to increase access to water supply to 55,400 households at the Kwendeni.
Will be reduced because of the increased water supply. Montali says the board now intends to expand supply of water to peri-urban areas to enable them have access to piped water. Mutari disclosed plans to push for the $150 million funding for the construction of Lambilambi Dam, a project which was submitted to the government 10 years ago.
The Kwendeni used to get their water from Zuzu. It's a long way. So the supply was intermittent and not enough. But from what I've seen here, the capacity of these tanks and the amount of water which is supposed to deliver, which is about 6,500 liters of water. That's more than enough for the time being.
Director of Infrastructure Development at Northern Region Water Board, Engineer Catherine Mafirwa, attributes the successful completion of the project to proper coordination between the board and the contractors.
So what is basically remaining some small activities, including the landscaping issues and other contractual issues between us and the contractor.
At the moment, the water supply works have reached around 96%, which according to Northern Region Water Board its substantial completion.
We'll be back after this break.
To achieve great things in life, you must do little things every day, like the 1, 2, 3 with Colgate.
1, wake up, wake up. 2, brush up, brush up. 3, smile through your day with a fresh breath and strong tea. Smile through your day with a fresh breath and strong tea.
Do the 1, 2, 3 with Colgate and give yourself a future to smile about.
If there's one thing that all soaps do, it's wash. From buckets to basins, bathrooms to streams, and everything in between.
All soaps wash.
Yes, but Protex is different. Its reinvented formula with flaxseed oil boosts your skin's natural anti-germ defenses by 10 times more, protecting you against 99.9% of germs. So what keeps us healthy?
Protex!
Good health starts here.
Define your surroundings with the color of your choice. Make it warm, creative, friendly, and vibrant. Coat textures, durable color options, with up to 1,200 color shades to choose from. Be it economy range or premium range paints, innovative paint and color technology in every drop. Available in Blantyre, Build Africa, and Limby Corner Mart Building, and in Lilongwe along M12 Road, close to Gateway Mall. Tropical Paints, your world in color.
Everyone knows foods with protein are good for us. A wonderful meal for the family. A little bit of onions, a little tomato. Mix it up and it's ready to eat. Top soy. Life. All you need is top soy with the top taste. Brighten your day with top soy, top soy, top soy.
Top soy soya pieces is a world-class Malawian top relish made with top quality, top taste, and top value, and is perfect when served with rice, sima, spaghetti, and so much more. Buy yours today in all wholesalers and retail shops across the country.
Top soy, truly a top relish.
Welcome back. Members of a group called Malawi Land Rover Defender Club donated blood at Queen Elizabeth Central Hospital during Easter. The donation was made to help provide blood for pregnant women at the hospital. Gary Samati has the details.
The donation was made as a gesture to celebrate the Easter holiday that Christians from all over the world commemorated over the weekend. After donating his blood, chairperson of the club, Patom Jojo, said the members were inspired by personal experiences, particularly faced by some of their female relations.
We have seen, actually we have experienced some cases with our women at Queen Elizabeth. I can say several hospitals, but for a start we choose to donate at Queen Elizabeth so that we can save lives.
Public Relations Officer of the club, Ted Mhango, added that Malawi Land Rover Defenders Club executed the initiative to show that ordinary citizens can help each other without fully relying on the government.
I think we still go to the notion where we're saying we should help ourselves. We shouldn't wait for someone to come and help us. The little we have, I believe it can change a lot. It can bring an impact. You see, the government has got so many things to do. So us as Malawians, the long as we are passionate about our country, we can help one another.
Malawi Land Rover Defenders Club is made of members that own a Land Rover Defender vehicle. The group comes together to make different charitable initiatives for the benefit of Malawians.
There is low financial literacy among police officers, which haunts them after retirement. This is according to outgoing Malawi Police Services SACO Chief Executive Officer Jonathan Zainga, speaking on Saturday during a farewell after leading the Malawi Police SACO for the past 5 years. Zainga observed that there is no financial planning for retirement, counseling and financial advisory services for police officers. Faleb Banda has more in this report read by Matthews Kasanda.
Zainga said these observations are equally true for immigration and prison officers, such that many officers had leave for 10 years after retirement as they do not adequately plan for retirement. He therefore said there is a need to develop and offer mortgage loans to officers that have at least saved for 10 years before retirement. He said during the past 5 years, Malawi Police SACO, which now has 6,000 members, has saved over 1.8 billion kwacha, of which 1.6 billion kwacha was borrowed by the members.
Journey hasn't been rosy. It was rough and tight, especially to inculcate a sense of saving in police officers. It was quite a big challenge. However, with the support we had from police management, we made it possible to visit almost each and every police station.
On his part, MOSCO Chief Executive Officer Fumbani Nyangulu said liquidity has been a major problem among SACOs.
The main impact has been, of course, liquidity, because maybe some are failing to repay the loans the way we had agreed, and then we are providing space for them, maybe providing longer period for them to be able to pay the loans. So that is affecting liquidity in the SACOs.
Melini Olam is Deputy Inspector General of Police responsible for administration.
He has seen Malawi Police SACO from inception up to its growth. We started as a very small SACO with less than 1,000 members, and during his tenure of office, we have seen the Malawi Police SACO growing from strength to strength.
Yolam also commended Zainga for building Malawi Police SACO, which now boasts of 6,000 members from 1,000.
In international news, while it may not be yet be planting season outside, inside some New Jersey shipping containers, it's always spring. Damin Ereski has this story narrated by Anna Rice.
It's a typical early spring landscape in the northern state of New Jersey. The trees are bare, the grass looks dull and brown. But in the heart of Robbinsville Township, inside what used to be a shipping container, a high-tech farm is flourishing.
The ones at the top may be a little bit smaller as the drainage goes through. Nutrients will have a little bit of maybe a larger lettuce at the bottom, and then we'll extract them. And you can see the final product is a very small root system.
There are 256 stands with greens at this high-tech farm. Every week, there's a new harvest. The secret is hydroponics, a special draining system that circulates calcium nitrate solution, as well as nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium.
It's not liquid soil, but it does hold a lot of the nutrients that the plants will need. Believe it or not, soil actually holds a lot of beneficial organisms, bacteria, just those microorganisms in general are just so important, and that's the nutrients that the plants need.
Excess water and nutrients return to special reservoirs and then start circulating again. Plants are watered every 3 hours for about 10 minutes. The sunlight is artificial and comes from 196 LED strips. The temperature and the chemical makeup of air is strictly controlled. It is always plus 22 degrees Celsius. The humidity level is at 56%, and the amount of carbon dioxide is 1,800 parts per million.
We actually have to emit CO2 into the atmosphere. We have to pump it in if we're not here. So if I'm on vacation or it's the weekend, we have to pump in CO2.
And just like everything else these days, this farm can be run through a smartphone app. Robbinsville Township has been involved with this kind of farming since 2017.
We were the first in the United States to have a freight farm. We still might be the only ones, but I'm hoping there will be more, because one of our main objectives of getting this was to create a model that's sustainable, that we can share with other municipalities to say, hey, you could bring this to your community too. You can help your people too with fresh nutrition, 24/7, 365.
A very special relationship system has sprung to life around the farm as well. Senior citizens, volunteers, and school children help maintain this unique ecosystem created around one old shipping container. For Vladimir Lensky in New Jersey, Anna Rice, MalawiNews.
That's all we had in the bulletin, but before we go to the headlines once again, Reserve Bank of Malawi Deputy Governor Henry Matanga resigns, ending 37 years of a career as a central banker. Former First Deputy Speaker Esther Mcheka Chirenje attributes by-election defeat to lack of support from her Democratic Progressive Party. And dry fishmongers in Lilongwe protest city council